online at 560theanswer.com.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Forever Remodeling. Stress-free and high-quality remodeling. View their stunning transformations online at the number 4everremodeling.com.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Good Thursday morning. Welcome back to Chicago's Morning Answer. Amy Jacobson here, Charles Thomas in for Dan Proft. And Dan Proft will be back. I know a lot of you are texting in because Mike Scott's no longer here, which still breaks my heart on a daily basis. But no, Dan Proft is coming back. He's just taking some time off. I do believe his birthday is... What is Dan's birthday this weekend? Anybody know? It's April 20th or 21st. I can't remember. But he's 50-something. Because it gets that way, right, Charles? When you're in your 50s, you're 50-something. It doesn't matter.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, but I can't believe you're...
Hey, from me, 50s? How am I supposed to remember that? That was a long time ago.
I can't believe you are... Are you really in your 70s?
Yeah.
Well, how old are you? Oh, I'm not supposed to ask.
I don't care. I mean,
Is that bad? Does this dress make me look fat? No.
I was born in 1951.
Okay.
Is that an indirect answer?
Yeah, I don't want to. That's Common Core math we're doing here. I don't know about that.
Common Core, yeah. This is Common Core State or whatever it is.
Oh, well, thanks. And you look great. And if you're 70, that's the new 50. So.
I'm still walking around. And
hey, you got up today.
Hey, praise God.
And you feel good, and you're going to Bible study twice a week.
Yes.
You're doing the Lord's work.
Trying to be the best I can be.
I know. We're all flawed, but we're trying.
We're flesh. Though.
Yes.
You know, I understand that.
And helping those who've helped us. I don't know if you know this, but a staggering 1 in every 5 of our nation's 16.2 million veterans are currently facing food insecurities. And there's an organization here in Illinois called Farm to Veteran who's on a mission to help. And with that, let's welcome to the program Michelle Keller. She is with Farm to Veterans. She's a director of that, and she is joining us on our Turnkey.pro answer line. Good morning, Michelle. How are you?
Good morning.
Good. So tell us how Farm to Veterans started, because it's located here in Mantoon, Illinois, or Manhattan,
Illinois.
Yes, Manhattan.
Yeah. So we're in the far south suburbs of Chicago. It started out in 2020. We were a for-profit farm at that time, and our founder and CEO decided if he could ever do something for veterans, he would. So we transitioned from a for-profit entity to a 501c3 in 2020 and started donating everything we produce on the farm to veterans in need. So think everything from eggs to pork to beef, even produce. We started out our first year, 11,000 meals given to veterans in the local communities through partner veteran organizations. Yeah. And from that time to now, last year we did 183,000 meals in 9 states.
Wow. How many acres do you own? How big is the farm?
So the farm in Manhattan only has 60 acres, but we've now also partnered with farmers, small to mid-sized farmers across the nation to pay fair market value for their goods, to be able to donate in other states as well.
And how do you get it from, farm to table? You see those new restaurants popping up all the time, but how do you, with the produce that you grow, the meat, the eggs, how do you get that to the veterans in need?
So we're a little unique. We work with partner veteran organizations, local Veterans Assistance Commissions, even some VAs, some veteran homes that house veterans that are in need, make sure that it gets to them, and then they distribute on our behalf. Because we don't ever want to turn someone away. So they have the capabilities of making sure that they do have veteran status, that they are in need, and, they are the correct people that are trying to get the donations.
Now, what's the reaction to some of the veterans who you're feeding? How appreciative are they?
We've heard everything from, oh my goodness, I've never had such great quality food. Everything that we grow is basically better than organic. Some of the beef that we have is actually Wagyu, American Wagyu.
Really?
Yeah, so it's things that they would never normally be able to get. And so, I've even had a Vietnam-era veteran tell me, I've never really been able to cook before for myself. Mm-hmm. And so he had to actually learn how to make eggs. He's like, I never knew how to cook an egg prior to getting the donations from you guys, because he went from a teenager from his parents' house to then into the military. Then he was married, and then he's recently widowed. So it's like now he didn't know how to cook an egg and he had to learn for himself. So he said, not only did I get fresh food from you guys, but I also learned a new skill.
Michelle, this is Charles asking a question. Is food insecurity among veterans any greater than it is in the general society?
When you look at the population of the number of veterans and the staggering statistic that 1 in 5 are facing insecurity, it is a little bit higher for that veteran population than the average population.
And why is that?
You know, there hasn't been that many studies that I'm fully aware of. However, I've noticed in just talking with folks is that the veteran community is a very proud community, and they tend to not ask for help when they need it. And coming back with struggles with PTSD, mental health issues, and just the transition from military life to civilian life is tough for some of these folks.
But
and it gets to the point where they don't ask for help until it's too late.
But also, too, I mean, they weren't celebrated. People come back from serving overseas in the National Guard, and their parents are there waiting for them, and there's parades sometimes in smaller towns, or they hang their picture, on a street light underneath, on the post there. They weren't celebrated back then, and I don't know why. But you were around for that, right, Charles? Is that,
Well, I can remember the 70s. Clearly,
Yeah.
they weren't celebrated.
Why? I just don't understand why
Well,
we didn't.
because
we
the-
turned our backs on them.
Well, the war was very controversial at the time, and I think a lot of people who were anti-war
Took it out on them.
they took it out on these guys, and the guys let it happen, because a lot of the people that went to Vietnam in particular, they were opposed to the war. They didn't want to be there at all. They didn't understand why they were there, and I think it took on a life of its own, this whole anti-military thing.
And it's so hard because I keep talking about these encampments that are on Lakeshore Drive, and I know 2 of them are Vietnam veterans, and they will not budge. They have a flag in front of their tent, but they will not budge at all. At least they're getting food. People are bringing them food, but it's so hard. And so what are you asking for? Because you need help to sustain this farm, correct?
We need help to continue our mission and to grow. We're getting a lot of folks that are telling us we need more. With a lot of grant funding being halted in some other areas, we are not federally funded at all. So they're coming to us and saying, hey, can we get more? Whether it's more frequency, more meals, more food. So in order to sustain that growth, we do need help to make that happen. Basically, $5 provides a meal to a veteran in need. It's a little higher than some of the food pantries because our stuff is not shelf stable. Everything is perishable. We do provide refrigerators and freezers to those organizations that need it to be able to house our donations. So we do have our website where you can donate. It's farm2veteran.com. Pretty easy. But yes, $5 provides a meal to a veteran in need.
And how many meals have you served to date since your mission began?
Since we started, we are just shy of 400,000.
Wow. Okay.
We will hit 400,000, I believe, by the end of this month.
And Farm to Veteran, people should know it's not just here in Illinois. What other veterans and other states are you helping?
So we are actually in 9 states now. We're in Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Iowa, Colorado, Washington State, Texas, and Florida.
Wow. Okay. And how long have you been the director there?
I've been there since the beginning.
Oh, really? So who you can't say names of who great American patriot donated the land or turned his farm into Farm to Veterans?
No, our founder's name is Kevin Van Eckeren.
Okay.
He's a serial entrepreneur, and this was one of his projects.
God bless him. Do you help any other homeless shelters in the area, or you just focus on the veterans, which is enough?
We just focus on the veterans. That was our mission. Just basically from conversations that we've had, that was the population that we wanted to focus on. We wanted to give back to folks that did so much for us.
Okay. Michelle Keller, Senior Director of Farm to Veteran. If you would like to help out, just $5 provides a nutritious meal to a veteran in need. You can go to farmtoveteran.com. Correct? That's farmtoveteran.com. And Michelle, thank you so much. And she joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank that cares about your business and is invested in your success. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Hi, I'm Chris Johnson, CEO of Classic Cinemas and proud customer of Signature Bank. We are a local family-owned business that